Welcome to 2013 and welcome to 2 Cents Worth, the first podcast of the year. Welcome to those that listen. Welcome to those that are new. I appreciate all your support. Today, we are talking about a word of the year. I've never done it before. I'm going to bring my wife on a later episode. We're going to talk about our entire family chose a word of the year. Not for our family, but as individuals. What is your word of the year going to be? I'm going to get into mine. And then in a later episode, we'll get the whole family involved in why we chose these words. But I'm going to give you guys a little more insight into why I chose my word for 2013 and what does it actually mean. I know people do this quite often. I saw a friend of mine actually do it as well, and I DM'd her and talked to her about what my word of the year was, and she wanted to know. She's like, oh, that's very interesting. Why did you choose that word? And so I went into a little explanation for it, and she was like, oh, I like that. Because it's a word that, excuse me, it's a word that you would sit there and go, interesting. Might have a negative connotation to some listeners, but it doesn't for what I'm going to explain for why my word of the year is, drum roll, please, really quick drum roll. My word of the year is weapon. Weapon. It's fierce, dangerous, scary, but it's really not. So weapon, right? And if you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, Ryan.DeFaber, you might have seen a reel here recently in the last week or so that it's with this guy, this YouTuber, Jack West. He does bodybuilding, working out, not really a bodybuilder, but he says in his statement, I'm not training to be a bodybuilder. I'm training to be a fucking weapon. And that, I was watching that video as kind of the year ended of 2022, and I was like, man, I like that. I'm not training to be a bodybuilder. I'm training to be a fucking weapon. So in the gym, I'm utilizing that word weapon in that aspect, right? Again, if you know me and you follow along and you've listened, fitness, working out is a huge part of my life. I do it 6 to 7 days a week, some days twice a week. And it has been just something I've done for years. Playing sports in high school, playing college baseball, after college, keeping up with my health. I'm 38. I'm going to be 39 this year. You know, making sure that I'm doing everything I can to protect my health, i.e., weapon. Protect my body, build my body, make my body strong enough. So in the gym, I'm not training to be a bodybuilder. You can tell that the minute you see me. But I am training to be a weapon, to be strong, to be able to defend myself, to be able to protect myself, my health, my body, my joints, everything, right? So that is my approach this year in 2023 in the gym, is being that weapon. Being and training to be a weapon, right? A means of gaining an advantage inside of the gym. I'm not going to be outworked in the gym this year. That is one of my things that I put as a goal. You guys will hear that later in other episodes. I'm going to talk about goals for 2023, my personal and professional goals, share them with you all so you guys can hear them and know some vulnerabilities about myself as well, and know what I want to accomplish for this year. But weapon, right? So inside of the gym, I'm not going to be outworked this year. I'm not going to get complacent. I'm going to do everything that I can to gain an advantage for myself physically. It helps with me mentally, and also just my overall health. Being healthy, starts for me at 4:15 Monday through Friday in the gym, at night doing challenges. As you guys saw in November, we did the push-up challenge and air squat challenge. In January, Pete and I are doing a jump rope and ab challenge every day. 1,000 single under jump rope and 200 ab exercises is what we are doing. 200 ab exercises, 200 reps of abs is what we are doing. That is the January challenge. So Monday through Friday, me in the gym starts at 4:15. That starts with me getting up, getting my body hydrated, getting it ready to go and work out and to set my day off right. Weapon is the word, right? Training to be a weapon, as Jack West says. What else does weapon mean for me? Well, weapon for 2023 also means protection. Protecting my time. Making sure that my time this year is utilized properly, that inside of work, outside of work, friends, family, coworkers, subordinates, whatever it might be, leaders inside of the organization, that one, I'm protective of my time, I'm protective of their time. There's nothing worse than going into a meeting with somebody and it's set for 30 minutes and you're 45 to 50 minutes into the meeting and you're sitting there going, I have no means of getting out of this meeting right now. They won't stop talking. They're not respectful of my time, but why am I being respectful of their time when my time is precious to me? Protecting my time. Okay? That's one thing for weapon, for work, for time, for family, for anything. Making sure I'm protective of the time that I'm spending with my kids, my wife. Making it a little more intentional when I am at my kids' games, hanging out in the backyard, playing with them, not always being on my phone. That is one thing that I'm going to do and try and do a better job of, is not being on my phone all the time. When I do have downtime, being more responsible with my time, protecting my time. Okay? Finances. We all have finances. We all have to live through what's going on right now in the economy. Things are costing more. Just overall finances, managing debt, all that type of stuff, frivolous spending, vacations that were going on, all of these types of things. Protective of my finances. Doing a better job of budgeting, managing that. There are times we all kind of get into it, you know, we spend a little more than what we wanted. Well, we want to accomplish some things this year, my wife and I, for the house, for vacations, for personal finances, whether it's investing and anything like that. I want to be more protective of that. I want to gain an advantage over my finances. We're coming out of the holiday season. For us, we have obviously the holidays. Our oldest son's birthday is in December, so we have that as well. So making sure that we are doing a better job of budgeting throughout the year so we can accomplish our goals of what we want to do. We want to go on family vacations every year. We want to go on these golf trips that I go on, Lindsay's girls' trips. Might be, you know, concerts we want to go to. Like we're going to, like mentioned in previous episodes, we're going to a Blink-182 concert in July here in Charlotte. Like things like that. Going on our own vacations, Lindsay and I. Being able to actually do those things from a vacation perspective is making sure that we're following along with our budget that we've set out. We did a good job of this year, starting off the year with creating a budget, looking at what we are bringing in versus what we're spending and where our spend goes. We should be fine. And we sit and we met with our advisor. We do that constantly over each quarter to make sure that we're all in alignment. Making sure we're just being a little more attentive to that is going to set us off for what we want to do and accomplish. So, weapon. I want to be a weapon in my finances. I want to gain an advantage and defend myself. This also is with me where, you know, I see something, I get it, right? Lindsay always gets mad at me at the end of the year when it comes to Christmas, she's always like, I don't know what to get you because when you want something, you just get it for yourself. Very true. Well, maybe I don't do that as much this year. And maybe some impulse buys. Amazon, you're a motherfucker. It'll get you. It gets you every time. Oh, I need that. I should get that. You know, I was looking the other day for something, and it was like just some pre-workout that I needed, and it ends up turning into, oh, maybe I need this too. And I was like, nope, stop. You don't. You don't need that. It's more of a want. There's no need there. And look, I'm not saying that you can't spend on yourself, but just want to be a little more conscious of that and make sure that when I do get something that I want versus need, that it's smart and, you know, you can splurge a little bit at that point in time, whatever it might be. But just being a little more protective and being able to protect myself and my family finances, right? So we can go and do these great vacations that we have planned, and not just for this year, but next year, right? So next year, Lindsay and I both turn 40. Well, we've talked about both of us going on separate trips for our 40th birthdays, right? Lindsay wants to go on a girl's trip for her 40th. I want to go on a guy's trip for my 40th with a group of my friends, etc. And I don't want to do that if I can't afford it. And so that starts now, right? Starts with the planning now. Also, when I turn 40, I want a new car. I've had my car since 2016. Again, do I need a new car? No, I do not. I want a new car. So if it is a want, I need to make sure that when it comes to that, I'm doing what I need to do to protect my finances, protect my need, right? Or sorry, not my need, my want. I want a new car. I've narrowed it down to 3 SUVs. They're more expensive than the SUV that I drive today. So I need to make sure that I'm looking at, okay, what's the trade-in value that I'm going to potentially get? Okay, that goes towards a down payment. What else will be that down payment? I currently don't have a car payment right now. So is that the right decision to make when I turn 40, or is it maybe when I'm 41 or 42 or whatever it might be, right? So making sure that, one, I'm protecting myself from doing something that is going to stop me from achieving that goal of getting that new car. And two, making sure that I understand everything that goes into getting that new car. Will I have a new car payment? Will I be able to actually pay for the car fully? You know, all of those things. Being a weapon when it comes to this podcast. Being more intentional of getting these episodes out. When I first started, I was getting 1 to 2 episodes out a week. It was great. I was pumping them out. Then kind of got complacent, got a little tired of it, wasn't as consistent. Well, let me tell you something. When I saw the consistency, when I was more consistent, I saw the viewership and listenership. It was a lot more than it is today. That's nobody's fault but mine, right? Went through COVID, talking about kind of a COVID funk and fog. This podcast definitely took that into full consideration there. That I fell right into that trap and really didn't do much during COVID when I look back at it. And listenership went down. People obviously maybe weren't listening as much on podcasts because they weren't commuting into work. Well, people are back at work. It's a great thing to listen to. A plug for me, 2 cents worth. Listen to it on your drive into work and your drive home from work. Great place. In the gym, walking around your neighborhood, hanging around your house. 2 cents worth podcast. You're listening to it now. Spread the word. Let everyone know about it. Let everyone know about myself. Follow me on the social medias. There you go. But being more of a weapon here. Putting out more consistent content. BearsDenGym.com, right? My apparel company. Being more aggressive and trying to get an advantage over there in that area. Doing a better job of meeting other people in the same industry and putting out more content. I'm going to be building out a Instagram and I already have a Facebook page for it. You can go to Bears Den Gym. You can search it on Facebook. You can go to that page. You can follow it. It's there. That's where I put all of the products that are out and everything else. I don't have a Twitter for it. I don't have an Instagram for it. I use my personal Twitter and Instagram for Bears Den Gym. Well, if I want to really build a brand and build a successful company from a social media perspective, I need to have my own Instagram for it, and I need to have my own Twitter for it, and I already have my own Facebook for it. So why did I not do the other two? Because I was using my name to build that instead of my business building it. So being more intentional over there, building an advantage, gaining an advantage of it, and defending that product, defending what I believe in that apparel company, the designs, the content that I'm putting out, the marketing for it. So for me, weapon was just the word that fit. It stuck out to me. It was that short 6-second clip from Jack West's video. Again, I'm not training to be a bodybuilder. I'm training to be a fucking weapon, and you know this. And I was like, man, the word weapon just really stuck out to me. And I was like, I can apply that to so many other things in my life that is going to be my word for 2023. Weapon. Why not, right? And so it goes for family. It goes for me mentally, physically, emotionally, being able to protect myself from deteriorating health. I'm not getting any younger. I'm not old by any means. 38 is definitely not old. I'm not going to get outworked in the gym. I'm going to protect my body and my health. I'm going to get back to stretching more and using the massage gun. I've been talking about my foot being injured for however many years, 2+ years now. I don't run anymore. Well, I did enjoy running. To believe it or not, running to me used to have a really, really negative connotation to it because growing up playing baseball and other sports, running was punishment, right? Basketball, what was the worst thing that you could hear your coach say? We're running suicides. Ugh. Baseball as a pitcher, go run poles. Go run 5 miles since you're not practicing today, basically. Like, running to me was a punishment. Well, during COVID, I turned that mental block that I had for running, and I turned it into a positive. I was like, now's the time to train for a half marathon. You got nothing else going on. You don't need to commute into work. Your kids aren't in school. So I trained and ran a half marathon, and I enjoyed it. And then my training continued, and I hurt my foot, and then it just kind of went and I've kind of used that as an excuse. I was stretching every night. I was taking much better care of my body than I did last year. Last year happened. It's for me a great way to learn. I'm looking back at it now and going, the reason why you're here today is because of the decisions you made last year, right? I weigh more than I want to weigh. So one of my goals this year, cut down about 15 pounds, get back into that fighting weight that I was at when I was running and working out. And I was strong as shit for my age and my size that I felt like, and what I want to accomplish. Again, not trying to be a bodybuilder, just want to be strong and healthy and, look better in the mirror for myself. Ego, vain, whatever. I really don't care. I just want to look at myself and say, that's a healthy body. So stretching more, getting back on a better diet. So again, being a weapon in the kitchen, prepping my meals, prepping my dinners more, not drinking as much. I got into this habit to where I was like, well, I'm only drinking a couple days a week. Well, when I look back at it now, for the last 6 months or so, I was really drinking more days in the week than I wasn't drinking in the week. Because I'd have a drink maybe on Thursday. Definitely having drinks Friday. Definitely having drinks Saturday. Sunday afternoon rolls around. Well, going to have a couple drinks Sunday. Well, fuck, man, that's 4 days out of the 7 days of the week. So I definitely wasn't protecting my body, and I definitely wasn't being a weapon in the kitchen. And it shows. And that's okay. Again, I take last year as a way to learn from it, and I definitely have, and I'm way more focused this year to start this year. I'm much more rejuvenated to start this year than I was last year, and maybe even as 2021 ended. So again, just making sure that I'm protective of my diet, gaining an advantage there. And the reason why I keep on saying like gaining an advantage, defending oneself, the definition of weapon is, one, a thing designed or used for inflicting bodily harm or physical damage. Well, okay, that doesn't really fit this narrative that I'm utilizing weapon as the word for. But it also is a means of gaining an advantage or defending oneself in a conflict or a contest. Well, my conflict is my complacency, my lack of motivation. I talked about it a handful of times in previous episodes, especially in 2022, of going through the motions. I was so complacent last year. I wasn't very motivated. Yes, I went to the gym every morning and people were shocked by that. They're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you go to the gym all the time. It's so great that you do that." Yeah, but what was I getting out of it? Yeah, I was working out, but again, if you look back at it, and I do certainly do for myself, I wasn't putting in the effort that I've have been over the last 2+ weeks. And this motivation started before the new year. This started right around the Christmas time frame where I was like, dude, you got to fucking wake up. Like 2023 is around the corner. Why are you going to wait for January 1 to start doing this stuff? Like start now. And that's what I did. And so, again, that's why I keep on saying gaining an advantage and all that stuff. So I should have clarified that, I don't know, 20+ minutes ago, but I didn't. So again, cutting back on my drinking. I was drinking more days in the week than I wasn't. Yet I would sit there and tell myself, I don't really drink that much. I don't drink during the week. Well, fuckface, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yes, is not during the week, but Thursday is. And so was Friday, but do a little better. Sunday, do you need to have a handful of drinks? No. If I want to have one drink while I'm having dinner, sure. Okay. I can cut back, but I need to make sure that I do that and I'm responsible about it. I talked about my spending, saving for a new car, big vacations for 2023 and 2024. So, that to me is how I'm utilizing this word for 2023. Why I'm going to be a weapon physically, mentally, emotionally, for my family, for my friends, for myself, financially, health-wise, all of it. My word of the year for 2023 is weapon. If you don't have a word of the year, that's fine. Again, this is the first time I've ever done it, but it's great to kind of have that. We have them written down on our chalkboard as we walk out the garage door of our house. We have everyone's word of the year up there. So there's mine, there's Lindsay's, there's Nolan's, there's Harrison's. And those are the words that we're going to live by this year. So I'm excited about it. I wanted to share that with you as we kick off the new year. I hope you've had a great start to the year. And keep tuning in, keep sharing, keep letting everybody know about this podcast. I'm trying to do a much better job of getting content out. I'm going to be more intentional about sharing this type of stuff as well with people that are new to getting to know me about the podcast, about bearsdengym.com. And hope to see success for that in 2023. You're going to hear a little more about my goals and the actions that I'm planning to achieve those goals on another episode. So thank you again for tuning in. My name is Ryan DeFaber. Have a great day.